the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, February 10th. Okay, so we have the moon, of course, in this Aquarius energy that went void, of course, right after we had our new moon in Aquarius pop off at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here Friday evening, February 9th. So as soon as we had that new moon in Aquarius pop off, the moon went void, of course, and was transiting, waiting to lock into Pisces energy here at 8:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we are going to have a couple of different aspects to talk about here today, while the moon is still void, of course, in this Aquarius energy, which is going to make for a very interesting dynamic. Seeing as, of course, we're still in the new moon window and the transition out of the Aquarius energy into Pisces energy, we move from the observer type of mentality down into the heart space. The Pisces energy, we're going to do a deep dive in our emotions, in our spiritual realm, in our unconscious realm. We are nearing the end of the zodiac wheel with Pisces energy, and therefore there's a lot of karma that we have to kind of process and sort through. Whether you're aware of it or not, there are a lot of things going on behind the curtain, behind the scenes, so to speak. We are definitely going to feel all the feels and really unpack some heaviness, some weight, in order for us to receive new downloads, new information, new inspiration, new intuitive insights that we are definitely going to be playing with as we move forward. So there are 13 different aspects taking place here today. 11 of them are going to involve the moon. So while the moon is still very much void, of course, in this Aquarius energy, we are going to have a positive interaction with Neptune in Pisces energy. This particular interaction is allowing us to kind of use the highest form of our intellect and our intuition to kind of navigate a different visual, if you will. We are still going to be receiving downloads, aha moments, epiphanies over this next week as we build towards the first quarter moon taking place in Taurus energy on the 16th. This is a time for the realizations, the aha moments, the epiphanies to actually come into reality, come into our awareness. But emotionally speaking, this is a good time to feel like we are kind of unpacking from, let's call it, a very difficult trip with a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges. And we are repacking the luggage now as we are preparing to go on a different quest, a different adventure that requires different, let's call them items, different wardrobes, if you will. Let's just consider the fact that we are pivoting. Again, that new moon energy provided us with a pivot point. We are now pivoting into a new path, a new direction. But again, a lot of this work, a lot of this energy is definitely popping off in our inner realm first and foremost. The moon, while still void, of course, is going to make a positive interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings in this Taurus energy, taking a very low, slow approach to building towards a new realm, new reality, new opportunities, new options that's going to make our day-to-day life a little bit happier, a little bit more safer, a little bit more secure. We, in this particular interaction, are going to have a little bit of a boost to our mood, to our attitude, to our perspective, to really seeing where it is that we're focused on the silver linings, we're focused on the possibilities, we're focused on what could be, and it's feeling kind of good right now to really let our imagination, our highest form of our intellect, our intuition to kind of swirl all together and paint a different visual in our head of what it is that we would like to start manifesting from here on out. The moon is then going to make a positive interaction with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, even our anger, in this Capricorn energy that has us very focused on thinking about our long-term goals, whether or not our current circumstances are something that we want to continue to pour into for the long term. Because this is a positive interaction, we're getting all fired up, all riled up in the right ways. We're building, again, cultivating this inner fire, this inner passion, this inner desire that we really need to keep that spark, that fire flame lit in order for us to stay the course, in order for us to be taking those deliberate actions when the green light go ahead is provided to us in order to collapse the elements of our current circumstances that we do not want to continue to pour into a futuristic vision, and start building towards taking the actions needed in order to actually aggress ourselves on this new path in this new direction. Now, Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves. In this Aquarius energy, going to get into the boxing ring, fight it out, creating tension and conflict with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings in this Taurus energy. Now, this is actually the last interaction that's going to take place while the moon is void, of course, in this Aquarius energy. So consider the fact that we're in a void right now where things are shaky, things are unstable, things are uncertain. We're really trying to stabilize in the energy, but we won't feel a little bit stable until we lock into Pisces energy. Mercury squaring Jupiter is going to show us where it is that we're feeling trapped, where we're feeling the mental blockages. We need a little bit more room to kind of research different options, explore different ideas, have the space to create something new, which of course means that we may have to eliminate, close the door upon, remove some particular blockages, some aspects in our lives that are preventing us from having the space to research, explore, and create something new. So again, this is very much a visual type of exercise. Again, a lot of the energies are not in our external realm yet. They're very much in our inner realm, but we need to visualize a different version of the goal that maybe we are now building towards. Again, we've had a change of heart, we've had a change of mind. Now we're having a pivot point be offered to us to kind of, orient ourselves on a new path in a new direction. The element here is that there are issues, there are problems in our current reality that are preventing us from moving forward, coming up with solutions, gaining the kind of clarity that we were hoping for. So now we're going to come up with the solutions to the problems that are blocking us from actually coming up with the greater vision, the greater dream, the greater plan. Now we need to watch out for a little bit of I'm going to say, overwhelming energy, pressure in the mental plane. Jupiter tends to magnify, turn the volume all the way up on whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling. We also have a tendency to over-exaggerate with this Jupiter energy as well. So we may be a little bit, I'm going to say, either too focused on one thing or not focused enough on one thing, which means that we could actually be missing the bigger vision, the bigger point to the matter, the bigger problem, if you will. We're a little bit scatterbrained. We're all over the place. We also, because Mercury is about communication, we also have these very strong impulses that we need to kind of, get some things off of our chest, if you will. We want to watch out for doing this because with Jupiter involved, we tend to kind of overstate, over-exaggerate our feelings. We're all a little bit extra, a little bit dramatic, if you will. We want meaning, we want clarity, we want to kind of know where we stand, especially in relationship dynamics with other people in other people's lives. But this is going to create a lot of mental anxiety, a lot of mental pressure. And, we're really going to be questioning ourselves just when we have this sense of knowing, a certain idea, a certain path, certain solution. Then all of a sudden we pick it apart. We don't feel so good about it. We kind of jump from optimism and confidence down to picking ourselves apart, a lot of self-doubt, and then back again. So this is going to make it very hard for us to make any decision, make any choice. There is going to be pressure and impulse to do just that, even though we're not in a time and a space to be deciding, to be choosing. But there is going to be a pressurized system that makes us feel like we have to figure everything out now. And so this is definitely going to be an element where our energy, our thoughts, our ideas are kind of bouncing all over the place, very much that pinball machine. We're focused technically on the wrong things. We have too many irons in the fire, so to speak. Our attention is kind of, being compartmentalized and divided among too many things, and therefore we're not going to accomplish anything. If we can focus on, problem solving or one thought, one idea, we may actually get somewheres, but the likelihood of that happening, very, very slim. Again, the scatterbrained, bouncing around, too many thoughts, too many ideas, too many tabs open in the brain, definitely going to be a thing. So we don't want to waste our time, so to speak, on topics and themes that don't matter, on, trying to communicate our thoughts, our ideas, trying to decide, trying to choose. We don't want to push those particular energies because we're not being supported by the universe to come to those particular, let's call them choice points, decision points, realizations. So it is going to be a very tricky energy. It is going to be a lot of pressure in the mental plane. There is going to be a lot of pressure on us to kind of figure everything out. But again, we're not in the particular energy to do that. So 8:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will be locking into Pisces energy. And you best believe you're going to feel the pace slow. You're going to feel the hypersensitivity rise. You're going to feel a little bit, I'm going to say introverted. You want to withdraw. You want to kind of, curl up in a ball. You want your comfy space. A lot of this is because we are in a time of rest and reflection. Again, very much in the new moon energy. And the very first thing that we have going on with this moon in Pisces is a very positive interaction with Pluto, the great transformer himself, who is in Aquarius energy. So this is definitely going to flip the script on us being able to see ourselves, our thoughts, our reality, to feel our emotions from a different standpoint. Now, this is a positive interaction, and thank goodness for that, because if it wasn't, we would be taking a very dark trip down the darkest memory lane possible. This is a positive energy, a positive interaction, which means that there's a major change, a major transformation in how it is that we're thinking, how it is that we're feeling. It can still be very intense energies. However, where Pluto's involved, there is a certain transformation taking place. And in the Pisces energy, it's about letting things go. It's about surrendering to the things that we can't control. It's about understanding the endings and the closures that we have to bring to a certain finality before we can start again. And so this is going to be a realization emotionally on what it is that we are ending, and therefore where it is that we can now kind of move forward, step into a new place of power, step into a new empowerment energy of control, especially over our emotions, especially realizing what it is that we don't have control over in our exterior realm, and just letting that go, letting that be. The moon is then going to make a tougher interaction than that one with Pluto. We are going to semi-square Chiron, the wounded healer, in this Aries energy, and this isn't going to feel good. Of course, it's not as intense as a full-blown square. It is a semi-square, so we're only getting half the tension, half the conflict. But this is really going to take us down a little bit of, I'm going to say, a victimhood mentality, a whiny, complainy type of narrative, mostly because we're having these issues with anchoring in this new version of self. We understand that the old version of self is gone and who it is that we had to be in order to survive particular topics and themes and particular life lessons up to this point. There is a finality, there is an ending taking place, and we're realizing the parts of self that are going with it. There is a grieving process that happens in Pisces energy. Again, letting go, surrendering, really releasing whatever karmically speaking is not nurturing and supporting and encouraging our involvement, or evolvement, I should say. And we are really pushing the boundaries of kind of picking ourselves apart in order to see what is left. And of course, that does not feel good. So there is an element here where we're not really focused on growing or evolving or healing or repairing. This is kind of the breakdown energies that we have to very much sit in, because we're still in the new moon phase, the dark phase of the moon, where we have to break things down in order to build things back up in a much better way. And right now we're doing that within the way that we see ourselves. So then Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, she's in Capricorn energy. She's going to be semi-squaring Saturn, the lord of karma. So Saturn rules over the Capricorn energy that Venus is currently in. Saturn, of course, is in Pisces energy. We like Capricorn and Pisces energy working together because the Pisces energy has the ability to move into the metaphysical realm, where our intuition, our soul, our spirit, our imagination, our dreams, our fantasies are very much alive and well. And when we have this intuitive alignment with some of these downloads, we're able to bring it to life through the Capricorn energy. And of course, as long as it provides a positive heart activation because Venus is involved, then we're able to kind of change our direction direction, change our wants, needs, and desires accordingly. But this particular interaction, let's say, is going to highlight some differences. This is going to put us in a situation where we are starting to kind of alienate ourselves by really looking at the people around us, the topics and themes that we don't seem to get into agreement about. And this can make us feel like we are standing outside of our own lives, watching a very uncomfortable social situation, if you will, take place. This doesn't feel good. It can really put us in a emotionally distant, detached type of arena, which of course may be good for us so that we don't get swallowed up in our feels, especially with the moon in Pisces. However, in relationship dynamics or our social interactions, it doesn't feel good when we feel like other people are cold and distant and a little bit standoffish. So why would we expect that people would really, take us feeling a little bit removed and detached as a good thing? We can definitely create anxiety, not only within ourselves, kind of illuminated to where it is that we're not on the same page with other people, but we can create anxiety in other people when they're observing the distance that we're creating in our personal relationship dynamics. So this could very much kind of fester some not so nice thoughts and feelings, really put us in a situation where we're questioning how we actually feel about some of the people in our current reality. And with that, because the Capricorn energy that Venus is in is taking a business-minded approach to her heart space, to how she feels within her own life, within the relationship dynamics that she has currently established. And of course, we have Saturn over here in the Pisces energy kind of taking a good look at where it is that maybe we've created a fantasy out of some of the situations that we are currently involved with, and now we're seeing it as it is and not for the way that we wished it would be. There's a little bit of a reality check that Mr. Saturn likes to bring. So that is definitely not going to feel good. The moon in Pisces then going to make a tough interaction with the North Node in Aries energy. So we are at this particular moment holding on more to the past, more to the old version of self, more to the things that we have to let go of than actually embracing the change, the new of the elements that, of course, we've been trying very hard to kind of put behind us, leave in the past, and move forward. Now, again, may I remind you that the whole point of the moon in Pisces is to illuminate the endings in order for beginnings to actually take place. But emotionally speaking, we are definitely all caught up in the feels about what we are moving away from, instead of being positive about what it is that we could be moving closer to. We have about, let me say from 12, so, midday until 8 p.m. in the evening with no interactions taking place. So that could feel very weird for us. Again, people not responding well to the very much pause and hold energy that we're in. This is going to be another instance where, again, we're kind of sitting in what we're letting go of, what we have to kind of surrender to, what we are closing the door on. We sit in that for hours. But at 8:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have the moon in Pisces make a positive interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who's in Taurus energy. So we love Taurus and Pisces energy because, again, water and earth, something is growing. We're nurturing something. We are really kind of in our feels and understanding how we're feeling about our physical realm. And again, that's Taurus energy. But the real good thing that's taking place here is that this is an aha moment. This is a major change, a major transformation in how we're thinking and how we're feeling. This is a boost of energy. This is a spontaneous realization on where it is that we need to move out of this, whiny, complaining, grieving, saddened type of energy where we're more focused on what we're letting go of, what we're ending, what we're bringing to a close, and more focused on where it is that we have the power and control to make some serious changes in our lives in order for us to feel good, to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel stable, especially through this adjustment period of having to close the door on certain aspects and certain elements. So this is like a zap to our mood, to our attitude. It's like a refreshment type of energy. It's opening up our heart space, opening up our headspace as well to what it is that we have to change, what it is that we have to rearrange, what it is that we have to adjust in our physical realm. The moon is then going to come up to bump into, team up with Saturn. So as you know, Mr. Lord of Karma here, he's already in this Pisces energy, and this is going to be, again, an ending / beginning cycle. So anytime we have any of the planets conjuncting, teaming up, it is like a reset, but a reset involves an ending before a beginning can actually take place. So because we're dealing with Mr. Karma, there is a certain level of emotional healing taking place. We have to end something. So the heaviness, the weight, the complaining, the whining, whatever the case may be, the realization of living in Delulu land, that is ending. What is beginning is a realization on what needs to change, where our beliefs are changing, what we need to build in our lives in order to feel safe and secure and stable, and where it is that we are now bossing up to the next level of this episode, which means that new roles and responsibilities are coming at us. We have to take a different perspective, a different approach to what it is that we want to build and create in our lives. And again, karmically speaking, we are moving into a new emotional awareness of the karmic chapters that we just lived through, what we're closing the door on, and of course, starting to gain a little bit of insight on what this next karmic chapter will actually bring to us. The moon is then going to semi-square Venus, which means that we're not feeling so good, we're not feeling so hot, especially where our heart space is concerned, especially where relationship dynamics are concerned. We are really being put through the ringer, so to speak, and really getting very clear on what we've been pouring into, who we've been pouring into, and where some of those pouring efforts need to end. The moon will then sextile, beautiful interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, which highly, highly suggests that there is a huge shift in our mood, in our attitude, in our heart space, in our head space, on where it is now that we see the challenges, the obstacles in life, these endings, these closures, as a launching point for growth, for evolvement, for healing, for repairment. I love this energy because it means that we're gaining a lot of intuitive insights. We're really trusting our higher selves. We have a little bit of an imaginative visual that we're being downloaded with on what it is that we want to build and create in our lives from here. And of course, Jupiter is always down to give us a little bit of confidence, a little bit of optimism, if you will. We're kind of settling into reviewing some of the life lessons that we've already gone through. We've already learned valuable lessons from, and we're understanding that this particular adjustment period is just a level up. And of course, level ups, adjustments periods, they never feel good, but we are bossing up in some big ways. We are getting ready for this next chapter. And right now we're feeling a little bit hopeful about what is to come. So the last aspect that we have taking place here today is the moon in Pisces, making a positive interaction with Mercury in this Aquarius energy. So our heart and our head are getting on the same page. And our heart space is very dependent at this point on listening to our intuition, to our gut feelings, what feels right, what we are inspired to research, where we want to grow, where we want to evolve, where we want to boss up. Mercury, on the other hand, in our mental plane, in this Aquarius energy, the highest form of our intellect, the lower level form of our intellect, they're working together. And so this is problem solving. This is also acceptance energy, realizing what it is that we're moving away from, flipping the script, realizing that when we kind of build excitement to the unknown, it takes away the anxiety and the, let's call it, sensation of not feeling like you're in control. We have the ability all the time to flip the script, to change our perspective, to rewrite the programming. And the moon and Mercury working very well together in this Pisces and Aquarius energy is allowing us to kind of problem solve in the visual field, using our intuition, using our intellect, really coming up, formulating this grounding point, this middle point where our heart and our head are finally working together in order to solve some problems, in order to gain some clarity and really start painting a beautiful picture on what it is that we're looking to manifest.